Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we got yet another new update for Black Ops 6. We've had like 3 updates in 5 days or something, which actually is pretty good because they're going through and they're fixing a whole lot of stuff. Today we got some new patch notes that actually detail some major bugs that were affecting a lot of players. We got some server side updates. We also have a new content update live today as well as sort of a surprise. So lots to dive into today as we do get into all of the patch notes and everything that was announced in the past day or so in regards to content and other future updates as well. If you enjoy the video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. It really does help the channel grow. And if you're new here or if you simply have not subscribed yet, every single day I got you covered with the latest news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, everything going on in COD is here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and ultimately join us on the road to 1 million subscribers. We've already gained a couple thousand new subs since the launch of Black Ops 6. So seriously, much love to everyone who is tuning into the videos and supporting the channel. I seriously do appreciate it. But initially here, first things first, we do have our Tuesday, October 29th patch notes. So a couple of global updates here for UI. Improved certain cases of image streaming in the front end menus. Nothing too significant there. Long loadouts and blueprint names will no longer be truncated for certain languages. Players can expect longer loadout and blueprint names to scroll horizontally, so they'll just flash across the screen. They also improved stability within main menus. I, for one, noticed like whenever I go into my audio settings menu, it's super stuttery and super laggy no matter what I do, so hopefully that addresses things like that. We also have some multiplayer specific updates here, and some pretty big ones at that. Address an issue where certain weapons would lose a specific attachment upon match start. This specifically was happening a ton with blueprints, where if you used an AIMS 85 blueprint, or if you used an LR 762 blueprint or whatever, right, and you wanted to change the barrel for a rear grip or something, you could change that in the menu. It'd work just fine. But then you load into the game and it just wouldn't actually carry over that change. You'd still have the original setup on it. So hopefully that fully fixes that. That was a bummer, like basically made it so that I couldn't use my blueprints because I wanted to use a more effective loadout and I was stuck using the base blueprint attachments there. So really hope that that fully addressed that. Sometimes they have these patch notes and then the issue doesn't actually fully get fixed, so we'll have to test that out in game. Another big one here was stability. Addressed various server side stability fixes. One thing that's always going on with these is that they're not specific here. It's always this very ambiguous, hey, we did some server updates, but they don't exactly tell us what. Like, is this going to impact packet burst and packet loss that's been going on in games? What exactly are these server side updates, addressing? What are they fixing in specific? Regardless, though, we did have some new server updates with this patch. We also have some zombies updates as well. On Terminus, they closed an exploit on Terminus that allowed players to temporarily lose enemy targeting, where you could basically get God mode. I think it was by interacting with a zipline or something like that. They also say on Liberty Falls, they closed an exploit on Liberty Falls that allowed players to temporarily lose enemy targeting. So that exploit on both maps is now updated. Players can now only individually interact with the bank vault combination lock 3 times per round. Then also with general stability updates, they added various server side fixes here too. So zombies and multiplayer got some server improvements with this patch, which is objectively good news, but this isn't all that ended up changing. We also got this announcement yesterday afternoon, conveniently just after I talked about some of this stuff in our very first update preview video yesterday. Treyarch says officially launch was only the beginning. Tomorrow, the Infected are coming to play. Nuketown joins the party on Friday. So we do get our first look at Infected here within Black Ops 6. It's a standard mode that we all know and love that's been in COD for years and years and years now, but that's actually going live today with the playlist update that's happening ideally right around the time you're seeing this video, if not shortly after I end up posting this, because I do try and get these up pretty quickly for you guys. But yeah, kind of a surprise that Infected is already coming to the game a little bit earlier than anticipated. We assumed it'd be happening later on this week or like early next week, but no, Infected is live today, so we get our first playlist update with that. And then Nuketown, obviously, as we talked about yesterday, officially confirmed to be dropping on Friday with supposedly a Nuketown 24/7 playlist as well. We'll have to be on the lookout for that. I imagine we'll see more patch notes and more changes drop with that Nuketown update later on this week. But still, this isn't all that they've talked about in terms of new updates, fixes, and gameplay changes. So COD Updates has actually gone through and posted a handful of other things that they are either investigating or they've already fixed. So they do say for Black Ops 6, we are investigating reports where progression levels may be incorrect on in-game scoreboards. So we already talked about this one a little bit, where basically it'll show your enemies as like a level 1 or your teammates as like super low levels when they're actually like, level 45 or something. So just a visual bug there. Everyone's still their correct rank. It's just not showing for you on the in-game scoreboard. And basically the same deal going on here, where they are investigating reports where progression levels may be incorrect in the main menus as well. So I do know that there's a bit of an issue going on where in game you might play like 5, 6, 7 matches and level up a couple of times. Like say you started out at 30 for the day, you played 6 matches, and then you get to the main menu and it says you're still 30, and you're like, no, I've got some double XP tokens popped or whatever, I've been playing pretty well. You actually have to go through and restart your game in order for it to say, hey, you're now level 33 or 34. So definitely be mindful of that. If it feels like you're just not getting any progression on the menu, it says you've been the same level for some time, maybe give your game a reboot and it should sort that out. I've had that happen to me a couple of times in my squad mates, and that simple restart did actually end up fixing that. We do also have an additional patch note now out for zombies as well. They do say an update's now out for BO6 zombies, an issue that resulted in lower than expected zombies XP gains from 3 p.m. Pacific on the 27th to 7 a.m. Pacific on the 28th has been resolved. This might be the most oddly specific patch note that we've ever seen in Call of Duty history, but there was a lot of talk in the zombies community. I woke up to some tweets of it going, hey, wait, are we getting way less XP today? You know what changed? Did they shadow nerf XP? Did they make a secret nerf to this? But it was actually a bug, and they did go through and they fixed that. So zombies XP is back to being as intended across the board, it would seem. And then lastly here, another very, very big one, because this has been a major complaint, major talking point, actually ever since the beta. They say for Black Ops 6, we are investigating an issue that impacts the ability for players to hear each other during intermission, so between rounds like in Search and Destroy, and in post-game voice chat. So a big complaint of like mine, and I know a ton of other people back from the beta, was that when a game ends, you couldn't talk to the enemy team. You couldn't type to the enemy team. The game just ended, which kind of sucked. Like, that's a huge thing with Call of Duty. You know, you stomp an enemy team, you're gonna let them know they got stomped. If it was a good match, you're throwing some GGs around, right? Or you're asking questions like, yo, what setup are you using? What gun was that? You know, I've gotten a lot of questions already of what prestige icon is that as I'm going through and leveling up. And the fact that you can't talk or type to other players at the end of the match just kind of sucks. Or like SND, voice chat's a huge part of it, being able to talk in between rounds and smack talk the enemy team, or go back and forth with some banter, whatever the case is. So this has been a big problem since the beta. Like I said, really surprised they didn't address it at all in the beta, but nice that now they are actually saying, hey, this is a bug, this isn't intended, or so they say. Maybe they just got the feedback and they're like, oh, we should probably turn on end of game voice comms, right? But voice chat and text chat should be coming to the end of a match now. So as you're sitting there waiting for everyone to do their kissing emotes or their shushing emotes at the end of the game, right? You can actually talk to the enemies, and I think that's something that should always be in Call of Duty, right? Like, that's a key component of gameplay there for sure. But that being said, as of now, that is effectively everything that either changed with today's update, was being added with today's update, or some of the things they are looking into for some future updates to come. Obviously, we're still in this launch period where things are super hectic, super chaotic, and they are dropping updates constantly. So we may see more patch notes later on this week with the Nuketown update. We may see other surprise changes here and there. If you want to make sure you are always in the loop, you never miss any major details going on, this channel is the place to be. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you enjoyed the video, a like rating on your way out would be really appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.